see yourself, this is a show my people. Believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feeling about this divide we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WUB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We got to keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody got to put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WUB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We got to keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody got to put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feeling about this divide we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WUB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We got to keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody got to put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Wednesday morning. I'm Mose on duty for today's edition of Belize's premier morning conversation. We hope all is great with you, your health, most importantly. Of course, your energy. We want it high, vibrations positive. We love you here. Starting the day, Creme Radio and on XTV. You're listening, you're watching. You're getting us on our apps. We hope you have our apps on your devices. Of course, we are available on social media or via simulcast coverage. As we start a new morning, we always give thanks, health and strength to be here with you. And of course, we don't take it for granted that you have decided to start your day with us live. Right, before we get down to the big event, the conversation, of course, we start with what we call the warm-ups. We've got a bit of morning news for you, but before we do the morning news, yeah, we got to find out about the weather. This morning, we got to read the weather, old school style. We don't let the straight link with the National Meteorological Service is not available today, so we have to go to the website where we find out that the general situation would like to the fair conditions. Sunny with a few cloudy spells tonight. Skies will be partly cloudy. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated over the next 24 hours. Looking at marine conditions, winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots. Sea state light chop. Waves 2 to 4 feet. As for temperatures today along the coast, expect a high of 89 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius, inland, an overnight low of 82 degrees Fahrenheit or 28 degrees Celsius. Inland a high of 94 degrees Fahrenheit or 34 degrees Celsius with overnight low of 74 degrees Fahrenheit or 23 degrees Celsius. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night is for similar weather conditions to prevail. As far as tropical weather outlook is concerned, tropical cyclone formation is not expected over the region during the next 48 hours.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
The National Trade Union Congress of Belize, the NTUCB, has made several demands of government, saying the changes are not pie in the sky. The umbrella organization has given government 90 days, in most cases, to implement the reforms. One of the immediate actions they are demanding is the resignation of Belize Telemedia Limited Chairman Mark M. Lizaraga and 3 other board members. They are Belize Business Bureau President Arturo Lizaraga, the only Social Security Board representative who voted in favor of the acquisition of SpeedNet on August 4th. Small shareholder Representative Eric Youssef for not reportedly consulting the shareholders he represents, and Government Representative Mose, whose integrity is being questioned due to his past. NTUCB President Ella Witt said the call for resignations is part of a broader push to reform the BTL board and restore public confidence.
We call for the immediate removal of Chairman Mark Lizaraga. Our position is based on a loss of confidence. We believe the chairman has not been sufficiently honest, transparent, and forthcoming with BTL workers and the Belizean public, and therefore has lost confidence of many employees at BTL, workers and Belizeans. When BTL lost business to Smart, he took a nonchalant attitude. He advocated to pay $90 million for cable companies and industry that has long since been dying, and his insistence that he wanted to go through with the purchase of Smart and SpeedNet. Other board members from BTL whose roles and accountability should be reviewed, and eventually we will ask for their removal: Moises Cal, Arturo Lizaraga,
That's right,
and Mr. Eric Youssef, who represents the small shareholders. And the timeline for that is immediate. Another demand: the People's Telecommunications Company must include the people in BTL. In BTL, it is said by the chairman, it has been finally admitted that the company is owned by the public, by Belizeans. Then we say workers and the Belizeans must have a meaningful voice in its governance. We therefore call for what has been established at many other organizations and boards, the tripartite structure at BTL. And the timeline is 90 days. It can be done. It's been done at Social Security Board, the University of Belize Board, many other boards in this country. That allows for accountability, transparency, and once we have BCCI, the employers representative and the workers representative in PUCB, we know that we can then gain back that trust in these organizations.
The unions are also demanding that all government telecom business go to BTL.
Our position is not an anti-smart position, anti-SpeedNet. Our position is protecting national assets and defense of BTL. And that is what we must spread out to our members and to the workers of this country, defending BTL. Of course, that's when Mr. Lizaraga leaves immediately, right?
right.
Public ownership first. Belize Telecommunications BTL belongs to the Belizean public, owned jointly by the government of Belize, the Social Security Board, and everyday Belizeans. Every dollar BTL earns feeds back into the public revenue, workers' pension, and national infrastructure. 100% channeling of government business. The NTUCB stance is non-negotiable. All government business, statutory boards, contracts, and public sector communication services must be funneled directly through BTL. Taxpayers must not subsidize private corporate profits when a state-owned enterprise is fully equipped to serve public needs.
That's right. All right.
Lastly, mandatory procurement policy be formally called on Cabinet to institute an immediate policy requiring 100% of government telecommunications business to remain with BTL. Protecting operational revenue and keeping public money within public entities is vital. Members, no company should receive preferential treatment, because of political, family, or other connections. It must be because we, the people of Belize, say so. Let it be to BTL.
The NTUCB is also asking for changes to the composition of the Public Utilities Commission.
If the Prime Minister appoints the members of the BUC, there can be a perceived conflict between potential influence and regulatory independence, especially now, right? Commissioner may never have or never will personally receive anything of value, but the circumstances could create the appearance of regulatory capture, where a regulator is perceived as being influenced by the interests of the political actors connected to Smart and SkillNet. That perception is particularly serious because the PUC is supposed to regulate telecommunications in the public interest and promote competition and consumer protection. The public could reasonably ask whether commissioners are completely free to make a decision that could adversely affect an entity in which the appointing the Prime Minister family has a financial interest. So the NTUCB call on government to return public confidence in the PUC by having 4 of the 7 commissioners nominated through the recognized social partners in good standing. These include Labor, which is through the NTUCB, Business through BCCI, Belizean NGOs through BNN, and the churches through NEAB. And then 3 commissioners from the government of the day. As you can see, the structure, it allows for the citizens of Belize to have majority control over the PUC.
Labour Senator Glenfield Dennison presented on the legislative demands of the NTUCB, focusing on 3 pieces of legislation, one of them already passed.
I want to talk about the Civil Assets Recovery and Unexplained Wealth Act. That's one law, you know. Like we got an actual law, but guess where they go on? The minister responsible for finance, that law has already been assented to by the Governor General and has already been gazetted on the 28th of July 2023, you know. We have a law, but guess what happened? The minister responsible for finance not exercise the power under section 99 of the law will say this act shall come into force on a day appointed by the minister by order published in the Gazette. I wonder why we don't want to bring the Civil Assets Recovery and Unexplained Wealth into being. Because you see what happened throughout this country is public money is being funneled into private hands. People are exercising discretion using public funds for building war chests, for building generational wealth. And this piece of law is a part and parcel of all that is uncapped, all that is to ensure that corruption is minimized, so that when you have one house, whether 3 storage by one seaside, and you can't explain how you get it, that are for the people of Belize, you know, because the truth we money you get it. So I know my president said 90 days for the piece of thing, you know. But this could pass this week, you know. So one order publishing in the Gazette, could start take back house and land and stuff for people and assets when they have, when they can't explain how they got it. I want this now.
Also decried that campaign finance legislation has not been passed and emphasized the need to have solid whistleblower legislation. For her part, Belize National Teachers Union President Nadia Martin Callis outlined key demands the union intends to make in negotiation with the government. Chief among them is ensuring that education legislation expected to go before the House this Friday does right by the teachers. Martin Callis also reiterated the union's long-standing position that August should be free of mandatory professional development, and she also declared that this is the last time teachers will go into their pockets to ready their classrooms.
Everywhere you turn around, there's a charge attached. So by the time you look at your disposable income, it is far less. So my teachers, I want to say this to you out there today. We understand, or as your leader, I understand, the council understands the fact that we have to and we will go after our resource allowance. This, and if you don't know what is the resource allowance, in St. Lucia, in Grenada, I was so proud of my brother from Grenada when he shared at the last Caribbean Union of Teachers executive meeting how the government has decided that every August they are going to give their teachers a particular grant to assist them with the acquisition of school resources. These two. And in Belize, we have been asking for this over and over again. Over and over and over again, we have been asking for the same thing. This is the last September, and I'm saying this, the last September 2026 will be the last time our educators will be going into their pockets to provide these resources. August. Back in the day, we enjoyed our July and August. Today, it's July, or part of July, and August we're on call, workshops, and all of these things.
At its press conference on Monday, the Department of the Environment reported that chemical testing linked to the recent Belize River fish kill has revealed multiple agrochemicals of concern at several points near the Santander operation and surrounding areas. Chief Environmental Officer Anthony Mai says the findings are preliminary and further analysis is on the way to determine the source of concentration of each substance. He emphasized, however, that the DOE has not yet determined whether these chemicals contributed to the fish kill.
What we have found so far is just one trace of agrochemical or pesticides within the canal from Santander, but we do have a list of, for example, in the Santander field, there's about 8 chemicals of interest that we have found. At Santander Canal, there's 32. At the effluent pond, 15. And upstream Santander, there's 10 chemicals of concern. So we still have to go through the additional process to look at the possibility of where these substances came from. We still need to go through another process to determine the concentration of these items, of these chemicals within this area. So there's more work for us to do.
Mai also responded on whether hypoxia alone, that is when dissolved oxygen levels in the water drops dangerously low, is to blame for the fish kill, given that species like crocodiles and turtles also turned up dead. Additionally, he addressed Santander's closed-loop system and shared some corrective measures Santander is already putting in place.
Again, when an aquatic ecosystem, when the dissolved oxygen levels go low, it creates what is called an anoxic environment. And so in an environment like that, you have bacteria that thrive well without oxygen. They proliferate and they grow, and they produce hydrogen sulfide, and hydrogen sulfide could be one of the causes of the death of the turtle and the crocodile. And then the other possible cause is mycotoxins. So certain bacteria produces mycotoxins that are very harmful to aquatic life, basically.
Okay, so last question. We know that in the press release as well, you all mentioned that Santander has a closed loop system. So the question is, when that overflows, where does it go to?
So the system is not 100% closed loop per se. The effluent fund discharge into the drainage system, and the drainage system is where water is obtained for irrigation. So in a normal circumstance, there is no it's enclosed, but it's when the area floods, that's when the water goes into the canal and then discharged into the river. But we have already started conversation with Santander. So we have some broad things that we want to do, some broad corrective actions, and Santander are coming up with some very concrete actions that they could put in place to avoid this from happening again. So one of the things that they have presented to us is completely ensuring that the effluent water from the factory itself is completely it's a circular system they want to put in place so you won't have any discharge. But again, that doesn't resolve the issue of some of the farms in the future or an area of the farm still being flooded and organic matter still entering into the river, right? But at least that's one component that will assist with the amount and the concentration of organic matter going into the river.
The National Institute of Culture and History, through its Institute of Archaeology, is appealing to the public for assistance in identifying those responsible for the recent destruction of Complex D and its associated structures at the El Pocito Maya site near Guinea Grass, Orange Walk. There are thousands of Maya sites in Belize, different only from archaeological reserves because they have not been excavated and open to the public. The destruction was uncovered on Monday during routine inspections conducted by the IA's Enforcement and Compliance Unit. Monitoring in the area had recently intensified due to neighboring land clearing activities that had already threatened outlying monuments. The incident follows an international research project conducted this summer in partnership with the College of East Texas, led by Dr. Keith Epic, to update the site's 1976 map and safeguard its history, highlighting the gravity of the incident and the shared responsibility of safeguarding national history. The Institute issued a stern reminder regarding the cultural loss and legal consequences. It stated, "These sites form an integral part of our national cultural heritage, and it is only through joint effort, built on national pride, that we can ensure their protection. The willful damage or destruction of an ancient monument carries a fine not exceeding $75,000, imprisonment for up to 5 years, or both." We spoke with senior archaeologist Jose Ramos.
One of the bigger structure was destroyed, and there were other small structures adjacent to Group B of the El Pocito that were partially destroyed in the land clearing. At a distance, we see other land clearing. This is a classic Maya site. One of the primary goal of the current or the new researcher is to understand what were the commerce activity of this site in relation to its northern landscape on how far it extended. We won't be able to know that until actual excavations are done to determine that. So we are hopeful that we still can proceed with that. And I know this is a wrench in the research project. In this particular case, we don't see any activity or intent to use the area as mining. For instance, if you guys recall the Mose situation, that was particularly for mining activities. At the time, the Institute of Archaeology pressed and followed charges with the individuals up to the maximum that we could at the time based on the legislation. That was $5,000, and for 5 charges, so that was $25,000. If that was to happen now, then you're looking at 75,000 times the number of charges, and that will give you a bigger amount. For this, we assume it was for agricultural or maybe wanting to find an area for putting house. I don't know what would be the rationale to flatten one of these bigger structure. We know that there are a lot of small farming happening around. The site in itself is well known. If you drive to Guinea Grass, you will see at the welcome, the image, they are depicting a version of El Pocito on their welcome sign. So everyone knows that that area, it's a site. And even if you weren't aware, when you bring a mechanized machine or you walk over the terrain, you will see the odd features, you will see the cultural fragments scattered on the surface.
Do you already know or can estimate how many charges would those responsible face if found?
Not as yet, but for sure at least one that will be based on the information received on investigation, then we'll be able to determine how many and what extent of charges will be levied against the person. But at the very least, one charge will be the $75,000. Yeah, for willful destruction of ancient monuments.
Nick urges anyone with information regarding the damage at El Pocito, whose name translates literally from Spanish to the little well, to contact the nearest police station or email archaeologist1@nichbelize.org or send a WhatsApp message to 601-7292 or 672-4190. And that brings us to the end of our morning news update. We break. When we come back, conversation is open right here on Creme Radio and on XTV. We'll be right back.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Darling, double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Cause me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank. Building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, Wednesday, the 19th of August, 2026. We are now open for the business of conversation, which means that this is the nice part. Well, everything nice, it's just this is the part where we get active and get in the chat, get in the conversation. All you need to do is call. The number is 280-5848. That's the direct line for you to participate in the conversation. Formula is the same each weekday. Maybe we have different conductors of the orchestra, but the music, that's still the same. We get you, and it works the way we want it to work every single weekday morning from 6:30 until 9 inside WUB Wake Up Belize, right here on Creme Radio and on XTV. All right. So while you sort out your phone, get yourself together and make some space for us, so for you to participate in the conversation, we have to proceed and engage on topics that we feel might be of interest to you or relevance. We fill in the spaces, you know, therefore we kind of roll. Now, yesterday, of course, what was to happen was there was a day for the unions, social partners, they were gathering up late last week to protest yesterday. I imagine that, and if you've not been listening to anything in the news, which I find very unlikely, but just in case you're in tune and you don't know what the hell they were going to protest about, well, they were going to protest about the proposed acquisition of SpeedNet by BTL. Obviously, that plan was affected by the decision made by Cabinet to can the proposal in a vote that they held, unprecedented vote late last week. And so yesterday, rather than mobilizing in the street protests, the NTUCB and its social partners gathered for a press conference to present their demands of the government, a mixture of reform demands as well as demands as it relates to accountability in the aftermath of the whole saga of BTL's pushing, or the BTL board, let me put it that way, pushing for the acquisition of Smart. And so there was a mixture of things that, or demands, let us classify them as they are to be classified. Their demands involves holding people accountable for their support, and essentially have put a deadline on it of 90 days, giving the government a ticking clock countdown to have these things done, which involves pointing out members of both the BTL board and also PUC for them to step down, and they were named, and are also demanding a reconfiguration of those boards to restore confidence. And there was also demands made specifically by the representative of the Belize Communication Workers Union, which is the representative body, the bargaining agent for the workers of BTL. And there was also demands made on legislative reform, laws to be put in place and to be made effective. And those were presented by the Senator for Labour, Senator Dennison. And so it was while it was not you would say what was to be, meaning a major demonstration, it was still a very, very strong press conference from the social partners, primarily labor, under the leadership of the NTUCB. We also had the presence of the president of the BNTU and the president of the PSU. And I was able to catch most of it and listen to the positions that have been taken. And I think it's important to have an understanding of what exactly they are demanding of the government. Now, they were very forceful in saying that they don't regard any of the things that they are demanding to be pie in the sky, to be unreasonable, or to be outrageous. They feel like these are fair, common sense based responses to what has transpired, not only in the matter of the BTL proposed acquisition of Smart, but what has transpired in multiple scandals that have hit the Bisenyo administration, and also the country's long history of craziness. And so it's demands that have been put forward to kind of increase the level of people-based participation, involvement, stakeholder presence, and being very involved in how state assets are going to go forward. And also protective legislation for whistleblowers and for the enabling of the law that is there in place for the recovery of assets, ill-gotten assets by people who enter to serve the public and are able to acquire things which they cannot present evidence as to the legitimate means through which they were able to essentially enrich themselves, to have those things not just a matter of having them as things to talk about, to complain about, to scandalize, but that there's a legal mechanism and right to be able to take back stuff. And so it was not a business as usual kind of press conference. It was, if the support and the membership is completely behind those demands, and most of them, I think, fall within their deadline of 90 days, then I would have to say that the Bisenyo administration has some serious issues to deal with, and they can take a position to say, well, we'll have 90 days from now, or they can take a position of saying, well, we have to take what has been presented to us very seriously. And we have seen in the past where, generally speaking, administrations don't necessarily jump with promptness when things are demanded of them, but we will see how this unfolds. Again, the telephone number is 2805-848. The matter of looking at people doing the right thing when it comes to those who made certain choices on the BTL board, and in particular the people who serve on the board of the regulator, PUC, and demanding that entire thing be reconfigured. and that they step down because they have failed. No, the PUC is obviously has to be looked at critically, its function, its performance in this matter. And that's what the NTUCB has done. They look at it and feels that what is to unfold now, the PUC as the kind of the arbitrator, the kind of like the referee for the telecommunication environment and industry, has to have a level of public trust that their alignment and their loyalty is to the best interests of the public. Like all these different agencies, regulatory agencies, statutory bodies that have boards that are essentially put together by a particular administration, they are to function even though the system of putting them there essentially is made politically. Is they have a responsibility to the objectives and the job description of what these agencies are supposed to do in the interest of Belizean people. That is where the loyalty should be. Very often we see these agencies, we see these boards, we see them fail to really align themselves as such with being loyal to people, and they tend to very often consistently be loyal to political masters. It's business as usual. And so the NTUCB is saying, well, that does not work. We want more social partner positions and involvement in these in this body, in particular BTL, PUC, and they laid out how they want that structure to be. And so it's definitely one of the most bold demands coming out of the NTUCB, like to say, listen, you can't continue controlling the PUC. That has to change. You can't. You've proven that this present system does not work in the interest of Belizean people. And so the question now, I feel, is very important for everyday people to look at that and see whether or not that is something that you identify with and that you are going to support. And before you can support anything, you have to understand it. Because then if you don't understand it, you support, then it's like, why? You can't, you have to, support has to be based on understanding, in my view. And so in these 90 days, it's very important for us to do some of that unpacking. But we have a call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Fine, brother.
Greetings.
I hear all of this, and it sounds good. I think that I want different stage. It's not like this hasn't happened before, that the state has done something that is not in the interest of the people, or unless the union primarily organized. Different this time because of who the social partners are. And I think, I don't know if the union knows something different or they do something different, but this is one different time. And I know they give them 190 days time period. But I really don't know if they know what then they do for create the kind of change that we want, because we've never had an opportunity like this before. It sounds good, but I'm like, is it the same playbook? Like, I don't know. What I advise, like how will it be executed? Like 90 days, that's a long time. And then they count for more than one action. So I'm like, okay, they could put somebody else that would do the same thing what the other person did before. Like, I know, sounds good, but I'm not convinced.
Well,
what are your thoughts?
I don't know that you find solutions to failure. We can sit down and we can try to strategize, the best of us and the best of thoughts. I think it's a journey. I am endorsing the fact that they are not just saying, okay, that is done, let's move on. I think fundamentally that gets my blessing, if I may describe it as that, for whatever that is worth. The fact that it is not, okay then, well, it was stopped, we're happy, as, kind of, with all due respect to Attorney Richard Bradley, who at times is an often, frequently, I guess, on the WUB, who felt, this is a moment to celebrate. I don't share that view, and so I definitely support the fact that these very significant organizations and their leadership, I don't know the extent, because I know it is very difficult, having been in those shoes, to thoroughly engage with membership and get all of this, but the different organizations have different quality of internal outreach with their members to kind of build consensus. Sometimes a unit might be small and compact. It's easier to do when you're thinking about an organization like the Public Service Union that is sprawling. That's a lot of work to kind of make sure that everything is, that membership is fully understanding and willing to defend it. That there's a lot of work. I don't know the extent to which that has been done on the ground, but I am saying that their messaging yesterday, not whether or not what they are asking for will ultimately be the best formula to respond to what we have experienced and what we have been experiencing. I don't know that there was not much more that is to be. I would say there's always more to be demanded, and I'm sure that there is a need for there to have been more, engagement and input. Always, there's always room for that. But the overall temperature of saying no, you don't just attempt something like that and then okay, we are okay after that simply because it was stopped. No, that overall mentality expressed yesterday, there's no guarantee that it's going to be the same strength 90 days from now or 30 days from now. But at the very least, in the immediate aftermath of what has taken place, in my view, sister, the messaging is right. Okay, that's how I feel. That they do not want to just, oh no, the same people who failed this. No, we are, and it is not, again, it is not frequent that you have names being called and saying these people need to go, and holding them accountable for a vote. That is not something that we have a lot of previous similar situations taking place, where we have taken names and we are now saying you voted this way, and because of that we can't possibly have any confidence that you have our best interests at heart, and so with all due respect, step aside now, as Beres Hammond's famously sang. that's what they're representing. And so I can't tell you with any guarantee that 1 month from now that same spirit, that same level of intensity is that they are going to, they're going to nurse that same commitment. It's sometimes people start to fade. It's in 90 days is a long time. But I have to just go on what was presented yesterday. I am aligned with the energy of saying, no, you don't just get up and move on and business as usual. There has to be consequences. There has to be accountability. Then there has to be changes. No, on those three things, I am completely in support of.
And one of the things I want to say yesterday was just in my head. Most people are not Belizeans. When they think of Trump, they just find it so distasteful and terrible and bad thing to say. But when you put it in the context that the power of the government, the parliament, that Belize is more powerful than Trump, brother.
Not the name. The executive. The executive in our system has far more power than the executive in their system.
So and this is our learning experience to all of us.
No, that is speaking proportionately. Of course, our executive doesn't have nuclear bombs, the biggest, most advanced military on the world, and all of that. It is speaking proportionately. It's a huge country, huge GDP. But we are speaking proportionate when we do a comparative of what all an executive can do within our system as compared to what, like, for example, a simple thing. He, as the executive, as the president, right, he gets to choose who his cabinet members are, but the cabinet members have to go and get vetted. They have to get vetted, and then they have to get approved by the House. And very often those processes are very intense. Their resumes, they have to answer questions about things they have said, things they have done, and at times, even though that appointment is something that the president wants, very recently he narrowly got in his choice for Attorney General. And that person had to sit in front of the members of Congress and be grilled before he's approved. So there is this, it's not just, I choose somebody to be in this position, I choose this person to be the head of whatever huge board or whatever. No, that person has to, final approval comes from the broader house, the Congress. So it's just to give you an example of how our system, the executive just says, this one there, I choose this one, I choose that one, this one. It's not just like that. And so when you lose, as is possible, or even based on the polling, it seems close, but it's up for grabs insofar as their upcoming midterm elections. Losing control of the Congress then means you lose control of the ability to do as you want. And so it's just a small slice of how they have tried to contain the full, because they had a problem with having a king. Now, this particular individual has rendered a lot of their norms, has nullified it, and has been able to and has been able to circumvent it like no other. He has demonstrated that the systems and the norms and the guardrails that they were so accustomed to were not good enough if you have an individual that is able to do what he does. He's special. He has brought their system to the ground and has been able to come close to being the type of all-powerful that we experience with our executive. So then again, one taste away we norm. This is we norm. What then got a problem with is what is par for the course here. We not got no checks or pushback in between election dates. No matter blue or red. That's the system that we have structured as the late Dr. Tega used to say, and he actually wrote in an article in the Mandela newspaper a couple of decades ago. We have legislated structural dissent out of our system. We do not allow dissent. The dissenting view has been stamped out. And so when I think about what was being proposed yesterday, one of the things that immediately comes to my mind is that the Cross the House bill, which is an anti it is so fundamentally destructive to creating one system where got check and balances, and so for me it's like that are one of the things that should be ripped out immediately and should be demanded that has to be reversed. I feel also the experiment of CEOs has been a complete failure, and the return to having somebody on top of the ministry that is coming up the public service was much better. Not saying that you won't have permanent secretaries that are going to sell out or permanent secretaries that are going to be weak, but it's saying that structurally you have created a system where you have no other version of the person in charge of the ministry because they are being brought in completely within the political directorate process. It is not out of the functioning public service. And we can compare, just look at it. It doesn't take a lot of, you don't have to do a lot of analysis to see how structurally the CEO process has not been in our best interest. And if a good number of us sit down, and as we are having this conversation, obviously in public, sister, I'm sure you have an individual saying, yeah, I have some things that I want to write on a board that we need to change, get rid of, that you might not be thinking of and I might not be thinking of. So there's always that. There's always that these demands are imperfect, they're always inadequate, and there's always more to be done. But the fact that they are not, it's like it's so easy to say, well, they're not to talk. That easy for we say, oh, then just the talk. Well, because the first thing they have to do the talk. The first thing they have to do to explain whether they demand. The first thing they have to do to try make we engage with whether for them game plan. So the automatic that part of this involves talking. No. I feel like one of my responsibilities is to come this morning and say, prolong that conversation, make people start to understand what they say and what they ask for and why it's important. And now if 90 days from now they flake out, then we come up and we say, oh, no, that pure talking, but we can't day one, after one day, say, oh man, no, that just talking. I can't do that. You know what I mean?
I hear you, and that's why it's good to flesh out these conversations in our public space. And it make I think, that I'm one of the things we're staying in my mind, and I got on a research, and I'm like, shucks, Mose, right, you know, this no crossing the floor. Like, how could we have allowed that to happen? Like, and one luck I'd have for the most that we really don't know better. Like, we really don't have the knowledge, and then to understand, to understand how that knowledge that we don't know impact the quality of our life every single day. And that's why I and other people can't stop talking about the importance of genuine knowledge sharing, debating, reasoning, and then come to a conclusion that, yeah, more we overstand it now. And so we use this knowledge where we find out or we learn for better the quality of our life just by holding ourselves and other people accountable.
And,
so
and you know,
it's good to have their reasoning.
And you know, important for we always, and I give thanks to Brother Robinson yesterday, because in presenting his view, he provided what I view to be responsibility. And the responsibility whenever we are having these conversations that are not directly about bread and butter. We have to always make the people where they face bread and butter the roughest. Bread and butter challenges the roughest. School fees problems the roughest. Understand that we have to spend time talking about other things we're connected to bread and butter, but you might not understand immediately how it connected to your bread and butter. That there are times things look like that not got nothing to do with where I face. And I think it was a respect to Senator Dennison. I think he was the one yesterday that put out this, and I think it might have been put out before, but yesterday was the first time I heard it phrased this way, that right now in 2026, according to the minimum wage, you have to work 3 hours to buy a gallon of fuel. And I don't know how many people actually thought of that. I didn't. But that's a profound point to me. That's a very powerful graphic. That if you are making $5 an hour, just think of that. That is the equivalent of only 1 gallon of fuel. And he was making it he was making the point that is an indication of modern day slavery, modern day economic slavery. That's the point that he was making. And I thought that Senator Dennison's input in yesterday's press conference was dynamic. He's not a loud person. Some people were struggling to hear him, but his points were full of decibels, were jamming. And you know, I think when we think of that and we think about, okay, because he was connecting it to the issue of campaign finance, because I don't know how he phrased it. He was quoting something that we could probably try to find that part of that press conference, but he was quoting some source that said if a country fails to do its independence properly, that investors will become your new colonizers, and was saying that that's what we have here in Belize, that investors have become our new colonizers because they are the ones who now own our political process through uncontrolled, unregulated campaign finance in the country. And you know, it's like, again, it's easy to just say, man, but I just the talk and just the bibble and just the rah and you know, like, well, action, but action without understanding, that is chaos in my mind. Action will be based on clarity, and action will be based on not only clarity about where wrong and clarity we not like, but clarity upon where we try get and where we try change. I think they're not important components of valuable action. So we have been given 90 days, not only the government, we have been given 90 days to understand what they talked about yesterday, if disagree or agree with it, or maybe even add on to it, and then hold them accountable for what they say yesterday. That's how I feel you respond to something like yesterday. But the first thing that I say, I respect and rate that they never just come and say, oh, we can call off the protest and we are to watch, not try that again, and that kind of approach. No. We got name, we got name, excuse me, we got name and got face. A people who need to step aside now. Step aside, because you can't, and that for me that, I know anybody listen to WB, I don't into chase down personalities and make nothing personal. This is not a personal thing. These are just common sense. If you carry me on a misguided adventure, carry my boat and land it on the reef, you can't carry me to sea again. You could go drive taxi, you could go and do something else, but drive the boat again? No. Let go of my wheel. Step aside now. Because I now know you don't know about boat, you don't know about water and sea, or you don't care about what happened to me. One of these things, any one of them, without a problem, has made you unfit to be at my wheel or to hold my rudder. You can't do that again. I don't want you mea culpa. There's no room for error in this. So I don't think that have anything to do with quote unquote player hating and they watch when nobody name the position when they go when they make off. No. You people were chosen for acting our way. You have the responsibility, the fiduciary responsibility to look after the interests of this entity, and you were prepared, as I think the case that was made yesterday, you were prepared, and this is the one that stands out, and again, it was a point that was hammered home by Senator Dennison, that not only think about the fact that you're willing to go buy one asset where you never have an independent auditor, you never have more than 1 year worth of financials. Not only that, you were prepared to buy $90 million worth of cable technology in 2026. Like on that basis alone, bro, you need to do something other than run $1.5 billion corporate entity in a telecommunication car. This is not for you. This world, that not your world where you got an understanding of based on the choices where you going to make, where we could feel confident that you know where to go on out here. And now we have to depend upon your leadership to deal with what is now being threatened as one more intense era of telecommunication competition, and that you and God will wheel. No. Taxi for you. You could go in a bus now. Go in a what else? But no boat. So I think that is common sense. That no kind of making something personal or be emotional. That acting intelligently. You have lost the right to be in such a position, and if you voted yes, even though anybody who voted yes, this one vote, the idea that one vote should disqualify you, like when we understand it's human to err, and you say, man, you need to be unfair. That only one vote. They make you look on all the vote. No, the problem with this one vote is that you voted opposite of what all these other people-based organizations were demanding of you. And if you voted yes, despite all these agencies saying no so fast, slow down, we need this, we need that, and you gone in our room and sit down and say, no, I don't want to hear it there, I don't care who they represent, I want to do what I want to do. Well, fine. The consequences of that is that you have now ended up on the losing side, a side that has been proven no way of the very executive of the country has said you were supporting something that they were not willing to support. Could you imagine that? You have now found yourself. You have now found yourself not even only not aligned with social partners and people-based organizations. The very executive has said that we are unable to vote yes. So you are standing alone with your yes. And good for you, you wave the banner, wave the flag, but you go home, go do it. That's what they're saying. And that's fair. That's how it go. Consequences. Consequences for be unilateral. Consequences for be hard of hearing. Consequences for never care what people feel. That's it. So, we'll find out. I don't know how strong people want to be 90 days from now. People generally are very concerned about 90 days entering the fringes of the Christmas season. I know how we go when it comes to that. By then, I think it leads up to mid-November, yes, so mid-September, mid-October, mid-November. I don't know what part we are then. I don't know if we even remember all that has happened here. We have other things to be concerned about always. We have other emotions, we have other realities, challenges. I don't know. But right now, today, I have to say, I did within there. I did with it.
I hear you, Mose, and I really feel that there are conversations after moments like this really matter, because a part of the awareness building or education or knowledge sharing. So at minimum, I'd say they really need, the unions really need to get some ads on TV or radio to unpack it so Belizean, I run it for the next 90 days so that Belizean people really understand what the for them position enough for we interest. That is, and I can't say it enough. Like, people like utilize, they utilize the media when it comes to political ads and smearing. I tell you no, Zinc Fence in particular, need the ads right now, radio and TV and newspaper. I don't think for myself, I just to say knowledge, awareness are always one way to empower the population, and a knowledgeable population or citizenry that harder for control.
But truth, so you have to talk the truth though, sister. You don't trust none of them.
It goes without saying.
Well,
it goes without saying.
But right? That's distrust is
healthy.
It's healthy. Yeah.
It really is. I really appreciate the time we'll take for.
Yeah.
The reason with we
distrust is not personal. Distrust is not personal. It's never personal. Distrust is a healthy component of self-preservation. It's just a prerequisite for the kind of environments that we have experienced, and the kind of disappointments that we have had to endure over a period of time.
I just want to plug this before we go, because I know we're way past 7:32 cents can break. Is I really encourage listeners and viewers and those streaming online to go to XTV Belize YouTube space we for years have been pulling these WUB conversations so that we could take with time and listen to their kind of reasoning, the party of knowledge sharing, and what opportunity for stretch talking when you know your space, when you listen to them conversations at your own convenience. And all are we responsible. All of we have one duty to have the belief that we want it. And really, I don't have to agree to what here, to the things that we say. It might spark one other thought. So I encourage religion people to take the responsibility that you, individual person, have to want land and be willing. But I could say one thing what really saved me when it earlier this month. That in this process of decolonization, that we need to be patient and kind with one another. I mean, there were hard things for I do in a moment like this.
And after everything that has been said and all that has happened and all that was like, just imagine this, that we've had this, let us say this saga was between January and August. And imagine how much of the bandwidth this process has consumed and how this has been in the headlines and the kind of intensity, and we've had street protests and it has been loud. Just imagine that even now, after all of that, have you seen the person responsible who has the wheel at PUC come to the public?
No more.
Can you imagine how someone could stay silent through all of this? It's an incredible display of avoidance. One of the most just disgusting display of avoidance, like you accept, nobody forced you to be in charge of PUC. You were appointed, you accepted, and with that acceptance comes duty. And when things become serious in your terrain, you have to show up. Your voice is important. You have duty. And just, I am not available. It's incredible. Sister, I got to go to break. You know that? This is Wake Up Belize. Wake Up Belize morning. Sorry, I cut you off before you drop your line. Only organized people will save the people. Guess what? We go to 2 cents scam, we way past the break, and then we take our first break of the morning. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes.
WUB, and this is XTV. Big respect to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. People come out, come support.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised when I hear what happened, but when I wake up this morning and I see on the Facebook that things are happening out here, I say, never waste my time and go up here and buy the plaza. When I can think, I just want to make it here. We have all of the easy and free of cost, you don't have a charge. We say everybody, I wish everybody will love, you know.
Now, your 2 cents.
Yeah, my 2 cents.
So how you feel if you know that you're still here on top of the money today?
With the grace of God, nobody can stop nothing. Now we are the answer to it. Amen.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
With the launch of this website, the magistracy reaffirms its commitment to making justice more accessible, transparent, and something that looks very familiar to everyone who comes before the court.
For a person facing criminal proceedings, the website provides information on how the criminal process works, how to apply for bail, and how to appeal a decision. For someone who needs to access the family court, information about the services provided, together with the relevant forms and guidance, can now be found in one accessible location. Similarly, information on how civil claims are brought in the magistrate court is available on the website. These may seem like simple things, but they are not insignificant. For the ordinary citizen, knowing where to go, what form to complete, what procedure to follow, and what to expect can make the difference between feeling completely lost in the justice system and feeling empowered to navigate it. This website places important information and documents within reach of every citizen with access to the internet.
And our goal is really to build public confidence. The launch is supposed to, stimulate that so that the public can go online, click the link, play around with the website, get familiar with it. Also, we would definitely want the Bar Association and other key stakeholders, the lawyers, to promote the use of this website, and also the court staff.
We are often the face of justice that the ordinary Belizean is more likely to meet. That is not a burden we resent. It is a responsibility that we embrace. If we are, for so many, the only door into the justice system, then we owe it to them to make that door easier to open.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you been in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try keep me the coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think about what to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool. For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC they blow hard. If you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool.
And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house, and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
When I install an AC system, I recommend Rheem from Benny's. Unlike inferior units that drive up electricity costs, restrict yard flow, and wear out quickly, Rheem has the right solution for every space. With a wide range of options, I can choose the right Rheem system to keep every customer cool, comfortable, and satisfied. Because at Benny's, quality is savings.
Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and savings.
Trucking is the one place that can handle all your concrete mix needs. 50-pound sandbags, white sand, sand and gravel, river sand, black dirt, clay and landfill, washed white sand, concrete mix and limestone. We also do land clearing, road construction, and excavation. For all your building and home projects, visit us at mile 14 on the Philip Golson Highway. Call or WhatsApp at 673-1118, 671-9199, or 661-5863. We're open Mondays to Saturdays. Our prices are so good you can't get a better deal anywhere. Catoosh Trucking, where we do things right.
You're up against some tough challenges, but not all heavy-duty lubricants can handle the pressure. Until now, introducing Ridgeline Lubricants, a homegrown solution engineered right here to solve the hurdles you face every day. Backed by experts who understand the ups and downs of where you're operating and what's at stake. Specially formulated to protect your equipment so you can push past grueling hours, heavy loads, and harsh conditions to reach for greater productivity. Ridgeline Lubricants. Long live your equipment.
Back to school tax-free days are here again. Saturday, August 15 and 29th. The Belize Tax Service is pleased to inform all consumers that General Sales Tax, GST, will once again be waived on eligible school supplies. In addition to the existing exempt zero-rated items, the government has approved the following school supplies to be GST-free for the designated period. The approved items are as follows: exempt zero-rated notebooks, textbooks and workbooks, school bags, pencils, crayons, lead pencils, erasers, and pencil case. Taxable items that are tax-free for the approved days: pens, uniform material, ready-made uniforms, binders and folders, highlighters, markers, pencil sharpeners, calculators, regular and scientific, scissors, folder pages, graph paper, typing sheets, rulers, Bristol board, correction fluid or whiteout, eligible footwear, black school shoes and black tennis shoes, tapes, brown paper book covers and craft paper, newsprint or shop paper, liquid soap, glue, geometry sets, lunch kits and boxes, socks, hand sanitizer and toilet paper. Remember, check your receipts after purchase. To ensure GST is not incorrectly applied, report any abuse or non-compliance by calling 613-2773, 613-8375, 614-5731, or 613-2840. For any further assistance or information, please visit or contact any Belize Tax Service office countrywide. Our team is ready to assist you.
welcome back to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's 4 after 8, Wednesday, the 19th of August, 2026. Mose Hyde on hosting duty today. Only hosting, right? Not here for preaching, but maybe every now and then. Unavoidable. Get into some long speech. But primarily about hearing from you and engaging with you and reasoning with you. That's why we have the phone. The number 280-5848. That's the live line for you to participate in the conversation. And before I resume every stuff, I need to take the opportunity to congratulate our colleague from Channel 7, Jules Vasquez, on a major award from the region, the Caribbean, the CBU, recognizing and saluting the work of Jules Vasquez as a defender of media freedom here in the Caribbean. Salute and respect. 5 after 8, and we spent, Sister Yaya will always do that, make her go deeper. The conversation that we were having earlier on the matter of yesterday's press conference from primarily the major union leadership. We had primarily the NTUCB, and there's also social media involved, and essentially they were just presenting in the aftermath of the BTL acquisition rejection their demands coming out of it, accountability, and also for changes and reform, which were significant. And I know that, there's coverage of the press conference, but it is definitely is a press conference worth checking in and really listening to all that was presented. And I even failed to mention to Sister Yaya that there was also by Senator Dennison demand for the proper and just closure, or not closure, but financial responsibilities to the PCWJ in the matter of their denied pension. I have to apologize this morning, cough, throat, and sneezing thing going on. Just have to make the most of it. But I think going back to our conversation, I mentioned, and I think it's a very serious part of it, that I know how difficult it is to flesh out these things, even if you have a small group, to make me understand why this the important thing to stand up, why this the important line to draw, why this the worthwhile hill for stand up, defend, and even go down pan. And because if people don't understand, they can't join you, knowing the kind of committed way. If they don't know why that even significant, what change that will make, why that will make things different. Very often you have educated people, knowledgeable people, experienced people make certain demand, make certain changes, fight for certain things, but having people understand why that's important to them, that we probably generally end up lacking because that work, not because people no understand or got the ability to understand, is that so much noise, so much thing to take people away. People don't got time for just sit down and hear you explain yourself all the time and everything where you believe in and where you feel we need to fight for. So reaching them and getting them enough and holding them long enough to kind of go through that and hear questions and put forward answers. And then also understanding that people have been failed so often that they're weary of that. They're weary that they get caught up in a way you to deal with it, and then before long you give up on it and drop short of what you to tell them. So that's one of the big things. And unfortunately, that's how you end up with things advantage being taken. Because you can always depend on that, upon people's disinterest in and they kind of lacking any belief that the fight will be for real. You know, like I heard one of the presentations being made that I was not even aware that the legislation as it relates to the recovery of ill-gotten gains as a result of public life and being in government. I was of the view and the opinion that that was something that was a wrap. I thought, you know, I know that was presented and you know, I said, well, we achieved something, and I thought that was active. Turns out that still have yet to be enacted into law, right? And I think it went through all the requirements in, I think, what, the year 2023. It's 2026. So now, one legislation like that, were important as one tool of deterrence. To say, okay, all previous years, somebody could go, and when we can't go back and say, oh, no, unless we have on charge, we find out that you're involved in you get this thing in a corrupt manner, it can be recovered, it can be repossessed in the interest of the people. That common sense. That is fair. That is just understanding. Hey, we can't make you just go with things. It's like if somebody go and steal from somebody's house and got their stolen goods at the house and somebody could prove then things are not for them, those items automatically are recovered. That's just the way it works. So this is a practical, common sense based legislation to protect the interests of the people and their assets. It takes a long while to recognize that this is something where important for though. Obviously you had some good people who advocate for it, and obviously generally there was a commitment to say pass it because the votes were there, it's been passed, but you have to get active. And apparently, I never knew till yesterday that active. Now, the carry on for daily life, we not got time for the tracking of that. We not got time for track for see every single law whether they will get active or not get active yet, or why they not get active or pursue it. And yes, ultimately, that duty falls on people where they're in the media for doing part of that work. But we as everyday people have to understand why that important to why that impact why that real to because we are trapped in this cycle of just scandal, complain, vote. Scandal, complain, oh, vote. And then, but we not able if we could break that cycle of people abusing, taking advantage, taking what not belong to them. Because we don't have the teeth to enforce accountability, for force consequences, for put in place the kind of measures where protect we. So when we do manage to get something through, we have to make sure that they lie dormant and it's not been made active. So we find out, man, now we have to clamor for that. Now we have to cry out for that. Not only people where their heads are union or people where they in our talk show. No, we have to understand, hey, we're wrong with that. When that one get active, when that one start to function, when you do what is required to make that become the law of the land, and in such a way that going forward we have the right to hold individuals fully accountable for things they have gotten for illegally or without illegitimately. So that's like a no-brainer. But here we are, it's 2026, and I don't talk show host. I never know that till yesterday. So once we find out though, we got a responsibility to come and be active on it and speak to it and say, oh yeah, I deal with that. I deal with fully supporting that needs to be, pressure needs to be brought to make that matter get corrected. So sometimes you dismiss press conferences, you dismiss people who run their mouths, the alone that we do, but that's a part of creating the understanding where then justify and make action precise and consequential, because the action they try to achieve certain things. Just as 2016 when the teachers union stood on 11 demands, we understood, okay, we have action, but where are the action? What would they try to achieve? Right? We would push UNCAC, we would push the 13th senator, we would push for certain reforms and changes. That is where I call productive action, because of action based on things where we clearly say we want to get, based on understanding what are the price of not having them. So explaining, talking, engaging, consultation, building consensus with everyday people, and not just only people who are in our organization. Because while I have regard for, enough respect for the process of having organized people and having, we have the social partners and they have their faults and got their shortcomings, and they have their moments when they really know up to standard, and got moments when they clearly fail. But ultimately, their existence, in my view, is important. But we got one number of people who fall outside of that. They fall outside of the borders of organized union or part of this or part of that, where their understanding, their involvement is just as important. And yes, talk shows involved in trying to do a bit of that, news, whatever, but at the end of the day, we're not doing a good enough job. Because sometimes you'll find that people really so distant away from the conversation about what we need for change, what we need for turn around, and they're not buying. They dismiss you. They're not. So yeah, we love demands, but there is work to make people understand the nature of those demands, why those demands are right, why they are justified, and where to try to achieve with the demands. And once people understand that, then they buy in, then defend their demands, they start to join the demanding process and then build the demand force. That's the work where ultimately we have to try to do at this point. And another work where I have to try to do that catch up back on my breaks, because I am out of a break. It is 17 minutes after 8 o'clock. This is the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We take this break and come right back.
Hello Belize, if you're looking for the perfect home air conditioner, then listen up. First, choose the right tonnage. Correct sizing means perfect cooling and much lower electricity bills. Now, look for efficiency. GREE uses AI-driven performance to optimize cooling and fight high energy costs. Lastly, don't just cool your air, clean it. Demand health-focused air treatment and smart connected features. Get the global leader in smart home comfort. Contact us today to find your perfect GREE AC.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I hear they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
EMS hit, our survival rate was like 1%, 2%, 5%. I think if we got 10%, we were lucky. And we kept, like I mentioned earlier, we kept trials, and then we started to improve. And now I must say that we are seeing much better. We are 50, 60, 70, 72% survivals with the ponds right now.
We are only using about 30% of the entire acreage that we have. We have plans to completely fill up all the ponds, so that automatically increases the production capacity for our farm in general, but all the farms in general also, because we do keep in touch as a growers association, and then we talk about what's their ramp up plan, and everybody is very hopeful of the industry growing back to its previous glory.
At one point there was 17 shrimp swamps, and over the period 11 closed down. But with Mr. Robbie interest, I can see that restoration coming every single day. Just around COVID, the production dropped to 1.02 million. And as we progress this year, we expect to reach at least 3 million pounds of shrimps in the country. And I hope that those that are investing in shrimps today will definitely see progress maybe 3 or 4 years from today.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
It was rainy, muddy, playing in a whole heap of mud.
We actually started working out of an apartment with about 6 of us. It was only 9 of us.
About 15 of us, not sure where we were heading.
I came from Cancun, Mexico for an interview and I didn't go back.
First time working a big girl job. And if you didn't know, you had to figure it out. I didn't know anything about plumbing, so I had to study YouTube.
We won the bid.
I definitely have to ask your boss to give you a raise. I plan on retiring here. 8:39 in the night, I'm still picking up the phone and each layer matters, guys.
I want to see or hear people say that Design Depot is a family.
Design Depot to me is like a family.
And we all combine to make this one beautiful Sunday dinner. I don't know who might be the salad, but
1, 2, 3.
Never stop.
The success of my business means a lot to my family, especially my brother, because I'm continuing his legacy, making butterfly art collages. It was very hard for me to receive payments. I had to go directly to meet the person I'm purchasing from and who I'm selling to receive payment. Because I opened my business account with Atlantic Bank, now I can make and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Have a vision? We've got what you need. idea to install. Brothers Habet, all your building needs under one roof.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Excuse me. Welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde, excuse me again, hosting today's edition of the conversation this Wednesday, the 19th of August 2026. And you hear my voice not there, my throat not there, and you got me to do a lot of talking today, as if though the good intelligent people of WB where they listen and watch, they got their own opinions and thoughts. So they always have, I know some of them more outspoken than others, will love the phone more than others, but that's how it works. So what happened? Nobody, only Sister Yaya want to talk a bit about the press conference, the MTUCB demands. You don't have feelings about it. You don't got no feelings about the 90 days. You don't got no feeling about whether or not the BTL chair should remain the chair, the board members who voted yes should remain there, the PUC is how it's supposed to be, or do we need to change that? You have feelings, you all have thoughts. I know that you got thoughts, but where I've been running off my mouth whole morning about, so this is where you get active, right? Because I never come and sign up to be the preacher for the full conversation of the show. So 2805848, that is the line where you feel, where you think, what are your observation? That's where this make out you. And so you can't just left it to just me to run my half voice this morning. And of course, we'll give thanks. Sister Yaya Sister Yaya always prompt you and got you to run off, but yeah, do your part. Make we hear you this Wednesday morning, Belize, WB people. Was not convincing. Okay, apparently not. So we have spent most of the morning talking about yesterday's press conference. We just have to again follow up a bit on the conversation about our water. We've had that going on since last week, and give thanks yesterday. We'll hear Carleen expressing his concerns over how that matter has progressed and having concerns. Our news team has run more excerpts from the interview that was done with the Chief Environmental Officer, Mr. Mai, speaking to the findings. Yesterday we remarked that every time we hear the Department of the Environment, it seems like it's important to tell us that one of the major, most significant suspects, we can't say that they're responsible, but something happened on the river and it's significant. Okay, what are the major industries on the Belize River? Are they involved? That's Santander. And that just comes with the territory, right? Because from the get-go, when this emerged, there were immediate environmental concerns. And I am sure that Santander has some consciousness about trying to minimize its environmental impact. I have to assume that. I can't believe that they are that they are like, you know, they not care about what they go in the water and what ultimately people give a drink. So they must have done certain things, but we have a problem. And what the environmental officer is saying, that there's some chemicals that they ain't got any concern about where they see the runoff from with the Santander area, but they don't know that will cause the fish kill. And all I'm thinking about is we will have to get we have not heard from the BWS people. They have remained, again, we have mastered the art of staying strategically silent so that nobody starts to wheel up with we stay like PUC people, we try to stay far, right? So BWS has not really come out and walked us through just to kind of make us understand like what all they are able to do to remove out of the water. Some things are easier to take out of water than others, right? One would have to assume that, you know, how do they go about trying to decontaminate certain chemicals out of the water? And how do we test the water that we are getting in our homes? The water that ultimately people might convert via reverse osmosis and all of that to give us drinking water. Because now we are completely, now speaking about this area, Belize District, primarily Belize City, that is the water we will drink. And that is the water we will use every day. And we have to have certain confidence that that water they're free of things which will adversely affect our bodies. And the way these things work is not that the things will hurt you immediately. You know, like ultra processed foods, it's not the first time you eat it or you drop down dead. It is consumption of it over a period of time that takes a toll on the body and creates significant health issues for us after a certain age. So that is the concern, that you have things that we are consuming, which we have to consume. We have to drink water. And it might not create an immediate adverse reaction. It might not immediately cause you to throw up, a bad belly, or, you know, worse. But that consuming that for a period of time. So for example, they have found, because of, you know, watershed being contaminated, they would start to see an uptick in a certain type of diseases, maybe some, you know, in some instances, cancers starting to crop up in a certain areas. And why these communities around here, they start have over years some problems with certain conditions. And they start to feel, you know, the water is very likely to be a source of the problem. Right? That has happened in big countries. Right? Big countries. It's a problem. Protecting your water from contaminants is not easy work. And a lot of this comes down to the Department of Environment. So it's not just about, well, okay, we don't have to worry because no more fish dip and crocodiles and turtles are dying. That's just an extreme event. That doesn't mean that you don't have unhealthy things, undesirable contaminants entering your water supply. Just sometimes it might have a peak, a spike, and the concentration is such that you end up with, oh, my goodness, we got a big problem. So that's why you can't just move on, business as usual. Okay, well, you know, the crocodile died, the turtle, and 2-3 snook, and so tuba dead. It's like, okay, but do we have a bigger problem here? That is what the Department of Environment has to determine. Not just that you have what caused these animals to die, But also, do we have a bigger problem? The chemicals you flagged, what are the potential for health issues over a period of time if we have that in the water constantly? And are we assured that the people who process the water are able to take out such contaminants? Those are important questions to be answered. So it's not just to just have a narrow concern. It's to say, listen, what's the potential here? What are we dealing with? Say, we don't know if this thing here with the chemicals are really fine, could have make cause that. Okay, cool, maybe you know the cause that, but can it cause problems to humans over long term? Then it's a problem. Those are important questions. Don't just tell me about the fish kill. The fish kill is like a canary in the mine. It's signaling that some problem is there. That's how it has to be treated. So we're not trying to vilify the people who are doing this work. They're doing their jobs, and we are definitely relieved to know that they're on it. They're collecting samples, they're processing it. That's happening. But we need to know that you're not as this happens. Like in a big countries, environmental protection agencies and regulatory agencies, they tiptoe around industry. They don't want to cause negative repercussion for industry, so they kind of try minimize things. And we don't want no minimizing of the thing. Every day we have to continue to drink the water, and we need to have assurances that this is the best possible kind of water we really consume, because they know immediately we are drop down, but long term it's never good. We'll take a break and come back.
I'm a licensed electrician for 15 years. Safety is always an electrician #1 priority. I shop at Benny's. Benny's give me high quality, durable material. Cheaper doesn't mean safety. Cheaper means danger. When I think about safety, I think about Benny's. Remember, at Benny's, quality is saving.
Savings at Benny's. Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and savings. See you at the store.
With the launch of this website, the magistracy reaffirms its commitment to making justice more accessible, transparent, and something that looks very familiar to everyone who comes before the court.
For a person facing criminal proceedings, the website provides information on how the criminal process works, how to apply for bail, and how to appeal a decision. For someone who needs to access the family court, information about the services provided, together with the relevant forms and guidance, can now be found in one accessible location. Similarly, information on how civil claims are brought in the magistrate court is available on the website. These may seem like simple things, but they are not insignificant. For the ordinary citizen, knowing where to go, what form to complete, what procedure to follow, and what to expect can make the difference between feeling completely lost in the justice system and feeling empowered to navigate it. This website places important information and documents within reach of every citizen with access to the internet.
And our goal is really to build public confidence. The launch is supposed to, stimulate that so that the public can go online, click the link, play around with the website, get familiar with it. Also, we would definitely want the Bar Association and other key stakeholders, the lawyers, to promote the use of this website, and also the court staff.
We are often the face of justice that the ordinary Belizean is more likely to meet. That is not a burden we resent. It is a responsibility that we embrace. If we are, for so many, the only door into the justice system, then we owe it to them to make that door easier to open.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Belize Blue Bull, the beaches, the jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I heard they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God, Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'll say I help you right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
Hello Belize, if you're looking for the perfect home air conditioner, then listen up. First, choose the right tonnage. Correct sizing means perfect cooling and much lower electricity bills. Now, look for efficiency. GREE uses AI-driven performance to optimize cooling and fight high energy costs. Lastly, don't just cool your air. Clean it. Demand health-focused air treatment and smart connected features. Get the global leader in smart home comfort. Contact us today to find your perfect GREE AC.
back to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Wednesday, 19th August 2026. We've got Clinton pull a light burn out of the River Valley with one water update. Where they go and pull?
Yes, greetings, Belize, brother Mose. I just called me the farmer after from the river now he tell between Flowers Bank and Isabella Bank, and he tell me that the stench of the river has reduced drastically. You know, because he said first when he looked the paddle in the river had one high strong stench, you know, of dead animals. And he said the paddle yesterday and he not smell it. But when he dip his hand in the water and put it on nose, he still have one slight stench, no? He said he not start the fishing it, but he said he think about go throw his first line tonight. But then I called him back. So we were senior where they done the barrel boom there. By where they know first have the route of Maya, no? Go by Black Gate, and I talked to the wife and she told me that he gone out fishing yesterday, catch 2 tubers, and they eat that last night. And he gone out fishing again this morning.
I don't know that they have given a...
He said it belonged in the junk.
I don't know if they have given clearance for the consumption of the fish out of the river. I personally wouldn't eat them to body.
Well, what I mean? But like I said, them people...
But this is a lifestyle. This is food. This is food.
Yeah, you know, and like them people on there, especially on the river, that hand to mouth.
You're not going on
the river that they only source of water. For beer, drink, for do everything.
Yeah, you know, Will Mahia complained yesterday, and he's right. I don't know if you experience any activism coming out of the respective village chairpersons. I know we've not heard or seen them, but are they on the ground engaged with the community any at all? Or what were you to feel out that side?
No, nobody, you know, funny. There was never any big uproar, you know, as one community against this situation. And I guess the people just do their own, like you know, the whole there check the river, you know, they won't leave money, personal monitoring and so. But no, for example, nobody ever start this conversation with me. You know, I talk to a lot of people on the river and thing, and I still go buy one drink when I was at China, when I was in the River Valley, man. I still go make I get one drink. You know, so give me a leave 5 and 2 years. I know, but really, they discuss that. You know.
Yeah.
But somebody like that don't come again. You know, really the fire it up. Cause like when I talk to Mr. Gurria by Booman, you know, like they don't got no like what concern we talk about. Boy, you know, that shit like what? Like we catch fish again, like he said what? He said we catch too big to buy and eat that yesterday. And they sprat then they jump and hit up on water top again right now and have to come back in till 11.
Yeah.
I get a different stroke for different folks, no?
Yeah, that no, again, not a reflection of the extent to which the relative agencies have been active and get on the ground and, you know, engaged in communities because...
Yeah, I guess they have a different way of monitoring the river, no?
Yeah, but...
coming to conclusion, I remember them people there for decades and they never got no scientists and all that, so they have to go for the instinct.
Yeah, but they never have the kind of development where they happen on the river and the kind of...
Exactly, yeah, they mass development and mass production. On another note, they think they cut down on the supply, the supply fish and thing in the river. And besides that, there are lots of so-called aliens come in here, they no joke, they eat everything. They eat everything out of the river, you know. So they don't like one time. And I guess this will add to it to make it worse, no?
You know, people, like I say, they're not like, if there is a problem where, okay, naturally, if you're going to a spike event, or an event where maybe you have flooding coming in and that cause the visual fish floating up dead and so on. But the reality is that at a lower level of contamination, you know, got the same effect, but that don't mean that that you know they're there.
Yeah, I remember there was a thing when they call slow poison, right? We just use one term, slow poison. And that's what is going on right now. As you mentioned earlier, slow poison, that in all the food there, 90% of the food there in the Chinese store, that's slow poison.
Yes.
I'm on one store and I check out over 400 items in a big supermarket, and over 400 of it, that's slow poison.
Yes.
I mean, all things with different chemicals, monosodium glutamate, different preservatives.
Ultra process.
We damage your body, and like you say, you know, kill you right away. But usually anything kick in at a certain age, especially when you get older, like people dead earlier from cancer now. And the majority of the causes that this, because like especially like Wrangell River Valley and MPS, people just live late. You know, go on funeral that 90 odd, 100 odd. You know, you then in your 80s, they live long. And then people basically they live off of the plantation, the natural food and fish and things from out of the river. But not everything that can have a shelf and anything that, like I said, anything they need preservative, but anything they don't design, you know, by nature for that. So
that I don't know.
We have a lot of issues with that.
That I don't know real food. Like it's not real.
Yeah,
food.
That I don't know. They're not real food.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the thing is, 90% they are running at 90% they are not real food, but then 90% are for we people. You know. Like they're not aware, they're ignorant to the fact, and then the commercialization of profit-driven business segment of resources. They don't give a damn. The irony again is that most of the thing when people sell you, then they say not eat, you know. Like Chinese man don't eat Chinese fried chicken. You know, they put their food all on steam. But for their business, they send a picnic to the university, they sell fried chicken.
Yeah. Bill, respect, man, and give thanks for the show. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, Mose, no respect, yes, sir.
Yeah, we take a final break, come back and wrap up for today.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Nokche Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism. So we decided, you know, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from then it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there we went into the culinary experience at the different Mayan cultures. We have like the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman, and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank just make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet. With the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
All right, Belize, we are done for today. We're closing down the shop until tomorrow morning. You were joined by Brother Nuri Muhammad as the host. All right, let me take this final call. Squeeze it in. Krem, good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, Madraka.
Yeah, bro.
Me, Mr. White, man, I just call to make the people know that we are there at third world feel like there's something Leon post the flowers. The man strong, but you know that you usually deal with the summer camp out there every time school shut, but the youth gone, they gone. My uncle Mango come out of retirement, so the last year we do a day for the man, you know, by strong the 23rd of August, you know, so we do it again this year, yeah, so Sunday right out of the football field, one Jordan, all the man we control the youth, man, we do the football, the hall of the field, to bring all the youth and to play some games. We are now a game with culture here about 4 o'clock against the rest of the world, whether we or them from back at all and couple man from around and around, like Bubbler, like rest of the world, I think. So that's why the people, you know, come out and, you know, bring all the youths there, and if they got any water, any juice, and ideal, and any pastries, just bring it up because of the youths there. We are the back of Swiftfall, we are the bubble pattern, all of them, we are the other from morning to evening, I think Madraka. So I just want the Belizean people know, they and I want John know, bring all the team there, bring all the cones there, bring all the football there. Well, a lot of people don't know about it, I think Madraka, but we want to come out, I think Madraka.
All right, Sunday.
Sunday, Madraka. And I want to give enough respect to all the people that will donate, and anything when they got donate, they could carry right that in Martin's Parish right there, so that Doug Fresh is study. Young guy will control the church right there, so you think. All donation go right over there, so you think.
Respect.
Enough respect, Madraka.
All right, brother, all right. Belize, we gone. We got to pay respect to the team. Anthony Tony G. Grant sitting in for Larry G this week. Up at XTV, Cliff the Glue, and directing this morning, Miss Krista Flowers. Who to feel the September celebration? No, Krista, you got your vibes, you got your feelings. All right. As always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!